Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Spinner Rack. I'm here with my boys, PD and Kyle. Say what's up, gents.
What up?
Ready to rock.
Hey, today we're going to be discussing that hit show, We Are the World on Netflix. Yes, yes, yes.
Hit doc.
Huh?
Hit documentary. It's not a
Hit
show.
documentary, hot show, documentary, film, whatever. It was hot. I'm saying this is where this basically goes behind the scenes to talk about how We Are World was brought together. What is this, the 30th anniversary?
Maybe more. Was it 30? Sounds like more than that.
Yeah, right. It was 84 till now. So you're talking about 50 years?
No, not 50. Is it 50?
If it's not 50, if it's
Maybe.
84, if it's 84 and it's 24, that's 40 years.
All right, 40th
40, yeah,
anniversary.
40,
Clearly,
yeah.
some of you guys can't do math, so let's.
It's the 50 and 30? Come on. You're Mr. 50
I'm
and
asking
30.
you a question. I didn't do the math. I was asking the question. Okay, so
Yeah,
we digress.
that's what we're doing here.
The show we came on in on Netflix, the documentary came on very well. P, do you want to say something?
No, that was the trailer. I was just so we have a picture.
Okay, so here, why was the Real World? Why were all these artists after the Grammys brought together? They were brought together because they wanted to do something for Africa, particularly the starvation that was happening in Ethiopia during the time during the Civil War. Remember, famine is man-made. It's not because of humans. I mean, not because of they couldn't get food. There's food all around the world, but there was a war going on in Ethiopia, and the government decided they wanted to starve their enemies. So millions of people were dying, hundreds of thousands of people were dying, and the artists in the United States, of course, after seeing Band Aid, said, "Hey, we got to do something, get together and do something," and that's exactly.
No, they did not. One person decided that, not the artist.
Band Aid from the UK. You can't say that they didn't.
No, I didn't say that. You said that the artist decided. They didn't decide. One person decided that this would be a good thing and started connecting to the artist, which was a small sector of artists, and then it bled out to get them. They agreed, yes, but one person thought that these popular acts should do it, and then they said talked to Lionel Richie and of course Quincy Jones and Michael Jackson, and then they wanted had Stevie Wonder, all said yes, and then they started contacting other people, and they all said yes also.
Look, Harry Belafonte, after hearing the whole Band Aid stuff, went to Ken Kragen, who was a manager, one of those super managers.
Yeah, that's different from what you were saying. Thank you. Now we're on track.
Okay, well, I was on track before, and
so you were not.
We have people here. I don't want to, talk outside what I have to say, but we'll keep it inside now. But so they got together, Lionel Richie, Michael Jackson. They tried to get Stevie Wonder to do the song, to help write the song, because they were trying to get everybody together. The best time to do it was after the American Music Awards, when they had a whole host of artists to come. They chose who would come in. They invited a whole bunch of people. Some people say Prince was snubbed. Other people say he declined the invitation. That's up to
No. No one says that Prince was snubbed. The history on that is very, very clear. I'll handle that. You can keep on with the other nonsense.
But overall, they came together for a great cause. A great song was written in a matter of 2 weeks, and it's given over the years. The money that's been raised from the charity has been almost $200 million in today's time. So I mean, kudos for the American artists getting out there and knocking it off. Even someone from South Detroit, we're including the whole American artist thing. Okay.
South Detroit, good Lord.
So, PD, do you have anything to say? Because you clearly have a lot to say.
No, I just it was a entertaining doc. It was cool to see them talk about how they put together and the idea of trying to make an anthem and sort of the ideas that Lionel Richie would do as far as the rhythm. And then he's talking about collaborating with Michael Jackson, who had all the instruments in his head as far as humming, and he would have these ideas. And of course, they have also talk about some of the silliness of Michael having these animals. But it was interesting. And of course, who's one of my favorites is Stevie Wonder, how he was so hard in demand to get. And he's kind of like, he's kind of your person that kind of steers the story away from the finale, where we're just like, he comes in late, he kind of, adds a monkey wrench to the thing towards the middle, and then towards the end he kind of helps out. So there's a lot of moments that is there to enjoy. But Stevie Wonder is one of my favorites, so it's kind of tough to see that he wasn't involved in the writing, because I think he's a very strong songwriter and musician. So, but at the same time, it didn't hurt from hearing those building blocks, and then them kind of getting the artists and the artists agreeing, and some of the bits, and seeing some of the personalities come out, like seeing Diana Ross kind of being non-diva, Miss
Yeah,
Diva of Divas, being a non-diva, being a fan at points, being a supporter, and being one that wanted this to keep on going. Seeing Cyndi Lauper, we think, not saying we, but we don't always go to The Voice because we think of her initial song being a pop song, but her being there, and they immediately say, yeah, she's a kind of a strong, the person arranger, bringing out how strong her voice was, and we see it in there, and then see what she can do, and then we see initial harmony work, but then you see people who had lower voices, they would have to not say anything, but you see that could kind of wear on your ego while you're doing it. So there's a lot of good bits in this thing. I got to go to my notes, so I'm going to stop here because I talked a lot, but I'm going to get my notes to come back into stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's also the eclectic group of singers that we have there. You have, Stevie Wonder, Paul Simon, Kenny Rogers, just name a few, James Ingram, Sheila E., Latoya Jackson, Marlon Jackson. You have Willie Nelson, Al Jarreau. You have Kenny Loggins, Daryl Hall. This is just some of them. And some of these guys have great personalities, and amazing you were able to corral. I mean, it was really tough for Quincy Jones to corral these guys, but they had a shared goal that they had, and they were able to bring it out. You see, I mean, just to talk about some of these guys, you see Al Jarreau, I mean, clearly was definitely very spirited in things that he wanted to do in the show. You see, Kenny Loggins is one of the artists spotlighted, and he does a good job talking about how he was brought in by Michael Jackson. You see, Bob Dylan actually struggles at one point trying to get his part together in the song, and you see how what Petey was saying. Stevie Wonder basically was able to mimic his voice and show him how he could do his portion of the song.
Yes, that was close to the end, and it's one of the more powerful scenes where he kind of felt like out of place, and he was kind of the person who fought the good fight from all this time, but he was in a song that really didn't fit him, and he was having a hard time, and then Stevie kind of shows him, he then does it, and that is basically the end of the song. It ended on a very strong note, having Bob Dylan in there, who'd already done so many songs that were so many poignant songs. So that was really fun. So sorry, keep going, because I'll get to my.
And going back to Stevie Wonder, it's interesting. He's such a strong, everybody says he's a blind guy, but musically, and he's a strong personality. So he comes in, even though he missed the opportunity to write the song. So hey, we writing this, and even halfway through the song, he's like, "Yo, let's change some words. Let's have some Swahili words in it." And no one's really telling him no until, like his godfather, Smokey Robinson, comes in and says, "Yeah, listen, little Stevie, we're not gonna do that. You're derailing. We're losing time. We got to get this thing done." And then he gets everything out, and it's just interesting.
Before that, we see Stevie doing his thing, and on the side we see Ray Charles laughing, and Ray Charles laughing at this thing going awry, and then you hear Ray Charles say, "Quincy, ring the bell, ring the bell." Like having Ray Charles bug out that Stevie's derailing this thing cracked me up to no end. He's like, "Ring the bell, ring the bell."
And someone pointed out that he's trying to bring in Swahili words into the song, and the place that this stuff is happening is in Ethiopia. So so then he tries to switch up and say, "Let's try to get some Aramaic words into this song."
Yeah,
people are like, "Yo, dude, it's just too late for this, dude. Let's just move on and do what we got to do." I just thought that was hilarious.
Okay.
And then there's another.
The language is Amharic.
Amharic, sorry. Amharic. My apologies. So then they also have a point where you have.
No, we heard all that. Time to talk about Prince.
But we're gonna get to Prince.
He hasn't said anything. Let Cal talk. Let Cal talk.
So hold on, let's get to Prince. They said we're going to finish up the.
No. I gave you plenty of time. You wind it up. You talk about. You over here talking about Ray Charles. Time to talk about Prince. That's what people want to hear about.
Wait a second. No, don't say it like that. Don't say it
There's
like
a whole
that.
bunch of stuff here.
Don't
You know
say
what
it
I'm saying?
like that. Not you
No.
ain't here in front of Ray Charles like that. No,
That's right. That's what I'm saying.
here
So-
for you. I'm here for you because we gotta have Cal's portion, but don't trash Ray.
Yeah,
Charles.
don't
Come on.
trash. So look,
Not
there was a
trashing,
point.
Ray. Hey, not
Oh.
trashing. But you've been going on all this stuff. People want to hear about Prince.
Yeah, here
Wrap
we
it
go.
We'll
up.
get to Prince in
Here
1
we
second. So
go.
look, just want to finish up this last anecdote. So they were like, one of the funniest things they said they saw was that, Ray Charles like, yo, I gotta go use the bathroom. And Stevie Wonder says, you know what, I'll show you how to get there.
Yeah.
Stuff like that is classic. You know what I'm trying to say? So Cal, you can go.
Well, as the myth goes, okay, people were like, hey, Prince didn't want to do it because he wanted to go to some nightclub and go party. Now, Prince did go to a nightclub and got in trouble that night going to the nightclub because his bouncer ended up beating up some dude. All of that is true. But before we get to all of that, Prince was made privy to We Are the World, as well as a whole bunch of other people at the same time. Okay. And while he liked the song, Prince already did a bunch of stuff for charity. He already did a bunch of private stuff, like private performances for charity. He was really busy at the time and it was too much. It's like, no, he declined. He was not going to do it. Unbeknownst to a whole bunch of people, though, they got Sheila E. there. Okay, they got Sheila E. there. Sheila E. now believes that she was used as a lure to get Prince there at the end of the day, because she didn't even have a line. Okay, the line that Prince had was eventually sung by Huey Lewis at the end of the day, but Prince declined. Now, go a little bit deeper. You find out that Prince was like, hey, I don't want to be around all these dudes. He's used to doing his own thing. He's like, look, I don't want to do this, but, and this is not something that's publicized a lot, he said, I'll be more than happy to dedicate a song for the album, but I'm not going to be over here singing. I'm not going to be over here singing with you cats at the end of the day. I mean, I don't know. You might remember back in the 90s, they actually did like a commemorative, I think maybe it was like a 10 or 15-year commemorative presentation of We Are the World. Everybody was on stage. Quincy Jones was on stage. And Quincy Jones tried to offer Prince the mic, and Prince was just there sucking on a lollipop. Even then, he wasn't singing, but you could just see he was very uncomfortable being with all those people. You see, like, I'm a solo act. I'm used to being in control of this stuff. I don't know this stuff. I'm not really down with what's going on over here. So that, from your resident expert, is exactly what happened. Okay, Prince declined. He declined pleasantly. He offered a song which appeared on the album entitled "For the Tears in Your Eyes," and he was already doing a lot of charity work. They tried to get Sheila E. there to say, well, look, come on, Sheila's here. Why don't you do this? Sheila didn't have a speaking role. If you want to hear what Prince would have sang, just listen to Huey Lewis's 9, and that's exactly what he would have sang. But there is no reason to come to Prince like Prince would, just thumbed his nose, was busy, gave a full song to the album, donated money. That's the truth. Take it away, lads.
So wait. We can't have this false thought of history that just thrown out there like this.
I don't necessarily.
I'm trying to say we need to like correct it. Let's call it what it is. Michael Jackson was there, and he knew Michael Jackson was going to wipe his thing there. So let's call it what it is. So everybody knew what was going on there. So let's play that. All right. So look.
Let's not do that. Let's not get into the whole.
Okay. I'm not going to say anything
because none of that works.
I would let that rock.
I would go to the other bit that Paul Simon said was he turned. I forget who he turned to. He turned to. It might have been Kenny Loggins, but he said, "Hey, if they dropped the bomb on this building, then Bob Denver would be number one again."
That was so funny. Yeah, that was messed up though. That was totally wrong. Shouldn't have said that.
Then the other thing is, which me and Mars have been fighting over. I'm sorry, Dan Aykroyd was there to bring the drugs. Now we saw no drugs.
Oh, come on, no.
But why was Dan Aykroyd there?
The Blues Brothers, bro.
What his song puts him there? Everybody, no, they didn't have. This is like the top artists, the top artists out there. As much as I love the Blues Brothers, one of my favorite films still to this day, I don't understand why Dan Aykroyd is there, besides possibly having the good stuff with him.
What do you mean? They had Marlon Jackson, Randy Jackson, Tito Jackson. I mean, come on.
And with Michael, they're just playing the harm. They part of the
That's why Aykroyd was probably with somebody there. We have to look into that. But Aykroyd was
filled up the stage.
And then you have
Jackson was there. What is Dan Aykroyd doing there? At least they were in a group.
There were other people. Bette Midler was in the group, and she was there.
Bette Midler was look. What does that have to? Bette Midler still was had some sort of mystique to her. What does Dan Aykroyd have there? You see when Bette Midler's walking, it's like, oh my God, it's Bette Midler. She was a big deal back then. She wasn't a pop star like Madonna or any of those people, but she was a big deal. What is Dan Aykroyd there for?
I said I think we're digressing, man. We're digressing.
Go.
Dan Aykroyd was there to provide a steady stream of push.
You're being nice. He said, "I'm saying that he's getting instead of the Crystal Skull drinks, you bring that China White. He bring that white girl.
We are not bringing that in.
He bringing that white girl there.
We need to stop.
He had that. He had the white lines.
Blow away.
And I want to make a point too that you were saying too that you didn't have lines. A lot of other people didn't have lines too in individual songs. Okay?
Sitting in the corner with no shoes and clothes. This thing funny,
Off-
but it took his
off
money and
his-
slipped it up his nose. Don't do it, baby.
Right. The other bit would be going back to Huey Newton, where they didn't know getting that part that Prince was supposed to have. They realized that he could do that. I forget who said that he'd be good doing a solo, and he was good at it. But then they turned around and said, "All right, now you do this harmony with Cyndi Lauper," and it's like, whoa! Now they're putting them to the test. You can see Hall and Oates and all the Europeans sitting, waiting for them to get it, and they got it, and they got it on record. They got it in the right cue, but it was a tough one for him. So it was good seeing him out there, showing what he could do, showing his talent, and he's one of the best parts. But I will do my own personal thing of when we were kids, me and my brother used to bug off the song, and I think my brother would do Stevie Wonder, and I would do Bruce Springsteen, and we'd sing it in harmony. So one would do the one part, and I would do the other. So to have the contrast of the two, having those two guys doing it, we used to bug off of that thing. So that's my one personal story about it.
Well, I'm looking at this thing here where they're talking about some of the things that happened. So they talk about why Dan Aykroyd is there. It was purely by accident. He said in New Hampshire magazine back in 2010 that he was there interviewing managers, and they were like, "Hey, why don't you come by?" And he came in, and that's how he got there. But here's a funny thing too. Eddie Murphy had a chance to go because he was in the studio with Stevie Wonder, and Stevie Wonder's like, "Come on," and he's like, "Nah, man, I'm doing this song, party all the time." And he said that was in a 2019 interview. He says, "Yo, I should have went that day."
Wow! So we have one of the things that's being commemorated. We should get the commemoration of Party All the Time at the same time. We should see the doc of how we've missed out not having Rick Jones explain to us all of the things that before before Chappelle Show did the Party All the Time. I think Mad TV did one where they had Eddie Murphy trying to come up with a song, and Rick James leaving to getting some drugs, and he's like, "All right, I'll be right back." And he's like, "Why do you keep leaving?" And then they finally did the song, but it was before the Chappelle Show. They did a gag on it, but ultimately, I don't. That's the thing. I don't want Eddie to be there. I'm okay with the Jacksons, even though there's a gag out there where they have who's it? Dionne Warwick. They asked and said, "You had all these great people and LaToya," and then they show Dionne Warwick laughing. I don't think that's an actual clip, but they cut it so it would be funny. Like when we see LaToya, we know that she's there with the family, right? So, but she doesn't have a part. They didn't figure the other Jacksons in there, so they're just filling up the room. So
everybody else got a line. Michael Jackson got the best part. That's your song.
Not everybody got a line. Most of the people there didn't get lines. There's only a couple people with distinctive.
I'll rephrase. Some people got lines. Michael Jackson got the best part.
Dude, he's going to continue with that. But yeah, not everybody got the lines. But continuing along those lines, you have the same thing. They said Madonna wasn't included, because they didn't think the Cragen, the music manager, was like, he didn't think her voice was strong enough compared to Cyndi Lauper. He thought hers was much better. and so that's
Cyndi
why she.
Lauper has a 5-octave voice range. Yes, she has a better voice.
And so that's why Madonna wasn't chosen. So, which is something that she was not, crazy about. But yo, I mean, you couldn't
And
invite
that's why
anybody.
and that's why Prince wasn't there.
And so
He
I
just
said,
gave us a big
Dylan,
tidbit there.
Dylan struggled there because
Wait a
this was
second,
not
we
his
got
type
to
of
talk
environment.
about that. What do you mean by that? That's why Prince wasn't there.
He looked and he's like, this is chaos, and this is not gonna make me look any better. He's like, and I'm already doing this stuff. He's like, thanks guys. I'll do my own song. I know it's how it's gonna come out. I know I'm gonna get some good, I know I'll get good licks in there and it'll be good. Okay. This right over here, he was gonna sing Henry Lewis's part. I was like, okay. He would have probably been there like, what the hell is this? You guys got me out here for this? I could have just done my own song. Like, no, here you go. Here you go. I'm gonna donate some money. I'm gonna
Oh
donate
my
some
gosh, you're
money.
still with the donate the money. They all donate money and stuff like, you know what I'm trying to say? You're still all
I'm
they
gonna
donate.
donate some money. I'm
Dude,
gonna
he had
donate
a
a song
chance
to
to
you
make
people,
history.
and you guys
He
can
didn't
stay
do
with
it.
this
And that's
chaos.
why he came back in 25 after the fact, So look, he
What do you
did
mean they all
what he was
donated
supposed to
money?
do.
Well,
He's
hold
done
on. What do you mean
if
they all donated money? You
so
think
that's what.
Dan Aykroyd was donating his drug money? No, he
Oh,
wasn't.
yo, dude, we're not talking about Dan Aykroyd, and you cannot prove that at all. So don't make these type of baseless
Are,
claims and
are you
accusations of people.
kidding? What
Okay,
more proof do we need? It's a whole bunch of R&B and rock singers. What the hell is Dan Aykroyd doing there?
they were. I just told you what happened. It was a pure accident that he showed up.
Pure accident that he had the good stuff.
Oh, wait, yeah. There you go. It was pure, right? It was pure and uncut.
He had that pure
And
white
his
girl.
voice is now on the We of the World thing. So
No,
getting
I
back
think
to
they turned his mic down, and then next thing you know, they were like, maybe he
no,
bled over into someone else's mic.
no.
But
So I mean, along with the writers of the Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie, who at the same time was also preparing for the American Music Award, where he like swept a whole bunch of awards. You also had that vocal arranger. I thought that was a crazy
yeah, that
thing.
was one
The
of the best
vocal
parts. Yeah.
arranger was I don't remember. You can recall his name.
No, I don't
The
remember.
vocal arranger was brought in to decide who should be singing together. And so he had to listen to all these tapes. Remember, back then it was cassette tapes, no CDs of
No,
all these people. You
he
couldn't stream.
decided on his own to listen to everybody to figure out this. As the arranger, this is part of his job. So when they say give him the job to arrange, he already knew what he had to do, had the cards on the floor, figuring out where you're supposed to stand, how this thing would work. And, so that's seeing that, the kind of what goes involved, because we see that title, but we don't know what's involved. And this is
Yeah.
part of what he took on himself and already would tell Quincy how it's supposed to go. And where Quincy would be like, well, this person looked like, no, what vocally works is how he was trying to tell you. So that's what his job was. And he did most of the stuff without any direction. He kind of pointed it out to them. So,
And the vocal arranger says that he thought the reason Prince didn't show is that he was afraid of Michael. I'm saying this is what somebody else is saying, a professional who has talent to say things like this.
Up again.
I'm not starting up. I'm just saying what the man said, bro. You know what I'm saying? So there was a
Good
few
for TV. Good for TV.
Well,
The thing of it is, at the end of the day, if he had been there, it would have been fine. It wouldn't be no thing, because Michael Jackson, who didn't get that many awards the year that Lionel Richie got some, was at the thing in the studio early, there for the project. So, and that's at the same time, outside of his only thing of him adding his own sort of words in there, which I think you already said that who was it? Smokey Robinson kind of nixed that portion. He was there for the project. So Prince was there, and they'd already been on stage together with James Brown. So they took in turns after James Brown told them to come up on stage. So they knew each other. Whether they had a rivalry or not, didn't work together, it wouldn't have been any big deal. Like, what were we expecting to do? Fight Clash of the Titans? No, it would have just been the same thing. And just like this, say like the Dream Team, like say where the Dream Team worked, they sold you on Magic and Bird, which they did have some sort of a friendship at some point. But in actuality, Jordan was out playing golf all the time and doing whatever else. And we had, who was it? Charles Barkley being the star of it. who's and then we had Larry Bird and Patrick Ewing becoming close friends. So that's the thing. The way you want them to be the matchup may not have been the matchup we saw, or it would have been if Sheila E. still had the outfit she had on from the what's the name from the American Music Awards. Prince would have been probably around her the entire night. So because I didn't remember that outfit, and I was just like, whoa. I know I was,
I'm pretty sure when the whole session was over, she went to bed with Prince that night. So I think he was okay.
but that's the thing. Some of the other people they turned to. That's what she said. She said someone turned to her and said when Diana Ross went I forget who she went to first, but she asked someone to sign her music, and then everyone else was signing. It's like people asked Sheila E. to sign their music. So it's like, hey, that's one of the magic moments, and that's one of the things where you see, she was a part of it, and people letting people connect how they want to connect. Rather now, Al Jarreau, like obviously they couldn't show most of this stuff because it probably was crazier than we saw, but good to see.
Yeah. Almost forgot Al Jarreau. Almost forgot. What was he on that night?
He
was happy. That's all we can say. He was
happy. I give him credit on the seeing Harry Belafonte and doing
No, that stuff was great. Al Jarreau was so out of pocket. I was like, "What's going on?" He was like, "I'm sorry, I need to get high." I'm like, "What are you doing, dude?"
No, but you know what? At least he showed up, bro.
At least stop.
At least he showed up.
Stop it. Stop.
What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say? At least he showed up. What are you trying to say?
I'm saying nothing at all. I'm just pointing out facts. People showed up.
What
Dylan struggled. Dylan struggled and yet showed up. You know what I'm trying to say?
Waylon Jennings walked out though. Waylon Jennings.
But he laid down the track. He laid down the original track. So don't forget that though.
He did.
Was there, until they started talking about Swahili.
He said
and Howard lyrics.
He was out of here. I'm out. I'm out of this.
Overall, I suggest that if you have a chance, I think you definitely should watch the We Are a World documentary. It's very fascinating. Also, it's great seeing all your different legends, because they're now legends, right? It's 40 years past. Legends in
they were kind of legendary back then, so
yeah. Yep. So I mean, if anyone you really like, you like to, they're there. So hey, don't miss the opportunity.
The next one that's coming out after that is Lionel Richie and how he broke up with his first wife. How his first wife beat him, and
we're not talking about.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. What's the title? Hello.
Look, that hasn't been proven.
Even dancing on the ceiling didn't save that guy. He tried his best to get away from his wife, and she beat the hell out of. He beat the hell out of that narrow dude.
Hello. Is it me you're looking for?
He grabbed him by that greasy curly hair and mollywopped him all across the house. The Commodores were cheering. The Commodores were cheering.
Look, I think.
Sam, hold on. Sam, how did she beat him?
What? Wait.
All night long?
There you go. All night long. All night long.
He should have known. He brought that hole into the home.
Because he was stuck on you. That's why he should have known. There was endless love.
Okay? Yes, that's the Mars that's the Mars that are part of Spinner Rack. That's the Mars you should be all the time.
And she did it easy, like Sunday morning.
But he started running with the night.
Yes.
Did she catch him with a ballerina girl, and that's why she did all that? A ballerina girl?
Yes.
Too much sweet love was going on. Gentlemen, I totally feel offended by all this stuff, so I think we need to stop.
Jamie.
God. That's what I'm talking about.
But his new wife is 3 times a lady, so he doesn't need to. Right?
You better not say that to his first wife, his child's sweetheart. That means he'll catch his beat down again.
I think the song was written for his mother. So, let's not get honorable mentions to Kenny Rogers.
Kenny Rogers was there. He killed it.
Kenny Rogers was there, holding it down. Doing We Are the World.
Oh my goodness!
I mean, dude,
I could have never done something. I could have never done something like that. Once you sing lead, I'm like, what? I got to sit here and wait for my turn. Get the hell out of here. I'm out.
And
The
they
sign is check your ego at the door, Cal. You
yeah,
can't.
they had a sign there. Check your ego at the door. Thank you.
Not not doing it. I'm like, here you go. I'm just gonna cut a check.
What about with what's the name with Diana Ross hugging up all against you instead of Lionel Richie doing that? She's around you.
I would have probably talked to Sheila E and said, "Can you get me Prince's autograph?"
Good Lord, he's not thinking. And what kind of? I'm saying, I'm there.
All right, so I think we're wrapping it up. So anything else? No, I'm not going to ask you anything else. 2 words, either one of you. 2 words.
Check it out. That's 3, right?
Cal.
Hey, I'll be good. It's a piece of
Hey,
history. If you want to find out more about this seminal point in music history, please check out this documentary. We're having a lot of fun with it, but hey, it's also very informative, and it was a significant piece of musical history and world history as well.
Spinnerack.
We're out.
Out.